David, so good to see you today. How's everything going this round of training camp for the Jose Uzcategui fight on November 13th in Phoenix?
Everything has been amazing. I think training camp has been perfect, from top to bottom. Since the last time, we've spoken, I've recovered really well from COVID. And honestly, I feel like, I'm going to do even better this time coming around because I'm basically having two training camps in one. I've been working since basically since May. So I've been working extremely hard, and we've been getting our runs in 6, 7 miles every time we run, 13, 14 rounds of sparring every time we spar. So I feel very confident that, everything is going to come out great. I feel like my strength and my power and my speed, everything is on point right now. So I'm very excited. And also, too, I have even more motivation because it's my first really big event, all to myself. I'm the main event, Phoenix Suns Arena, so there's a lot of key, elements that's going into this fight that makes me really motivated. The first fight back in my hometown and, in 6 years, the WBC IBF title eliminator, it's my first fight that my son's going to be able to attend too. So, it's really, everything is perfect right now. And I'm very happy and I'm very excited. And, I just can't wait to make a splash come November 13th.
Let me ask you this, because I don't know that we talked about this after it happened, but were you previously vaccinated when you got COVID, or had that fallen by the wayside?
No, I wasn't vaccinated by COVID. I wasn't vaccinated with the vaccine, but and then I was also gonna get vaccinated right after I got COVID too. But my doctor advised me that it's not good to get the vaccine because I already got I got the virus in my body already. So he said, don't get vaccinated until after the fight. But thank God, it didn't really hit me too hard. I felt bad for about a week. And then, overall it wasn't too bad. Like I said, like there's been people that suffered a lot worse. So, I'm very thankful that it didn't really hit me that bad. But, it's just like, I feel like people, including me, think it's never going to happen to them until it happens to you. So, it's something that you gotta address, right away. I feel like people, they really have to get the vaccine, or if they don't get the vaccine, they have to, be very careful, use hand sanitizer, be very clean. And, because it's not fun, it's not fun until when you're laying on that bed, you already have COVID, and it could have went way worse for me. So, I'm just really thankful that it didn't. But,
did you get hospitalized, or do you just kick back at home?
No, I was at home. I felt like I had to go to the hospital the first day, but I kind of just tried to toughen it out. I felt like I couldn't breathe and I felt very weak. But like I said, thank God I wasn't hospitalized. But COVID is not no joke, man. It's crazy. It sucks what it does to you. It sucks how weak it makes you feel. It took me like about, I think, a month to regain my strength, and I didn't even get it that bad. I can imagine how some people feel when it hits them, extremely bad. But yeah, man, COVID is crazy.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, it seems like I hear, as a reporter, I hear a couple lines of thinking in regard to your career. And the one from, I think most people say, David Benavidez, unbelievable talent. This guy's going to be a champion. It could be like an undisputed champion someday. And then you'll hear other voices say it's always something with him. Like something always happens to go wrong. What's going to be the next thing? How do you sort of get past the second part and just say, look, I'm going to live up to the expectations that are on me from this point forward?
Somebody's always going to have something to say about you, whether you're doing good or whether you're doing bad. I feel like, with me right now, I have, my goals set for myself, and I'm going to continue training hard. Whatever mishaps I've had in my past and whatever's happened has happened. But while stuff was happening, I've never stopped working hard. My whole life and my whole career, I've trained, my ass off, and I love boxing. And, because of that reason, that's why I train hard. And because of the respect I have for the sport, I train hard. I don't train hard because somebody says, oh, he's not going to live up to his expectations or this and that, or people talking smack. I train hard because I love boxing. And I know, there's some really good talented fighters out there that I'm going to end up fighting. So I got to be 100% ready for anything. So, it it doesn't bother me what people say. You know, I've gotten over that phase already. It bothered me maybe 3 years ago, but not no more. You know, people are always gonna have something to say. But
That's true. Boy, is that true.
yeah, as for COVID, you know, there's nothing you could do about COVID. If somebody gets COVID, it's not like, you know, I got COVID on purpose. I didn't get COVID on purpose. You know, like you know, obviously, you know, it set me back a little bit, but you know, things happen like that. You know, I didn't get it on purpose. So
right. Well, the good news,
it's just the nature of what it is. You know, once you're working hard or something, people are going to talk bad and people are going to talk good about you. But the good thing is that people are always talking about you. So that's what really matters.
the good news is the stars are really aligned schedule-wise now, because look, I know the fight that you've always wanted is Canelo Alvarez. Now you've got 1 week before your fight, you've got Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant in Vegas, followed by your fight actually on Showtime, both being promoted by PBC. Do you feel like, I mean, you're in great position with the victory to get that fight next?
Yeah, and then, you know, I'm really glad you brought that up, that you said the stars are aligning, because if you look at it, you know, I'm not gonna lie, you know, Canelo Alvarez has years and years more experience than me. You know, he's been in the big fights. So for me, I think everything has been perfect the ways everything has happened. I mean, not saying that it was a good thing that my belt got taken away, but, you know, it gave me a few extra fights to get ready for Canelo Alvarez. You know, I've never been in the ring with somebody like Canelo, but the next best thing against Canelo is having experience. You know, I've had 3 fights, and, you know, with hard hitters, you know, guys that are fast, you know, so I think that's what's going to prepare me for Canelo Alvarez, you know, having experience. And now, you know, I got another tough guy in front of me, and if I go in there and say and do the things I said I was going to do, with knocking, you know, Uzcategui out, knocking a fighter out that nobody's ever knocked out, that's just going to add to my confidence and, you know, my experience that I'm going to get. And, you know, this is a very big fight. You know, if I fight Canelo Alvarez, it's going to be in front of a big crowd too. And this is going to be my first fight in a big crowd, a really big crowd for myself. So that's what I'm saying. All the experience goes to it. And yeah, you know, I feel like Canelo Alvarez is next, or Canelo Alvarez or Caleb Plant. You know, you can never count out a fighter until the fight is fought. But
breaking down the fight, though, let me ask you to break down the fight though, real quick. Who do you like and why? To
be honest, I think this fight now is getting closer and closer. I think it's going to be a better fight than people expected that's going to be. I think, you know, a lot of people are thinking that Canelo is just going to run through Caleb Plant. But I feel like there's so much at stake that sometimes this is what makes great fighters great. You know, I'm not saying that me calling Caleb Plant great or anything, but, you know what I'm saying, sometimes the situation brings the best out in you. But I feel like the best is going to come out in him for about 3-4 rounds. And then I think the reason why Caleb Plant can't beat Canelo Alvarez is because he doesn't have the power to keep Canelo off of him. You know, he has 23 fights or 22 fights?
21 fights, yeah.
With 11 or 12 knockouts. You know, it's basically a 50% KO ratio. You need to be a hard hitter to keep Canelo off of you. Also, he's going to be coming back and forth. He's going to be coming at you all night, as you see with Billy Joe Sanders when he fought Billy Joe Sanders. You know, It was a good fight the first couple rounds, but then Canelo ended up, you know, finding the distance or cutting distance, you know, cutting the ring, and he ended up finding that uppercut to the orbital bone that he broke. But I feel like it's going to be the exact same fight. You know, Caleb Plant's going to frustrate in the first couple rounds, but then Canelo's going to come up strong. And, you know, I'm very excited too. Honestly, I'm a fan of boxing, so I'm excited to see the fight too. I mean, I'm not biased when it comes to boxing. You know, I love boxing, but you just got to look at it in that sense. You know, Canelo, he's a great finisher. He's a great body shot. He throws great body shots, throws great combinations. And Caleb Plant, he tends to gas out towards the second half of the fight, and he starts to get caught with shots that he really shouldn't get caught with, you know, towards the end of the fight. So, but it's going to be a good fight, man. I'm excited, but I feel like Canelo's going to win. Canelo definitely by stoppage, or, you know, a one-sided victory for sure.
Canelo by stoppage, David Benavidez by stoppage, and then you can't stop this freight train from happening, right?
Exactly, man. I feel like I'm in a great position right now because a lot of people have been calling for the fight, me and Canelo Alvarez, because they know, you know, this is me. I have the power to keep Canelo off of me. You know, I have the speed, you know, I have the jab, you know, and I have the youth. You know, this is everything I work for. You know, basically, once I get past Uzcategui, 21 years of boxing, I've been boxing my whole life is is basically gonna show out in one moment right there. And this is what makes me very excited, especially when I think of it like that, like, oh man, everything I've been through, everything me and my family been through, 21 years of boxing, I could show everybody that I'm the best super middleweight in the world in one night. So that's what keeps me going, and I'm very excited for whatever comes next.
David, thank you so much for your time. Good luck November 13th, and we will see you soon, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.